Warning, someone to go back in time and... Wanted, someone to go back in time and cover games news with us. This is not a joke. You'll be paid an exposure after we get back. We have done this 10 times before. Journalism not guaranteed.
I legitimately thought it was warning in the beginning. I forgot it was wanted when I said
You thought I fucked it up?
No, I thought I thought it was like, yeah, I'm saying it right. And you said it's like, oh no, it is right. It is wanted. It's not warning.
Tabby, would you like to explain to the viewers what this podcast is?
Sure. So we are the gaming news podcast about the past, present, the future, past not guaranteed.
This is why
you do the opening? Yeah. I was trying.
Hello, and welcome to the first annual ad-lib episode of Journalism Not Guaranteed. Today, you, the viewer, will be taking the role of null toxicity within the podcast because my audio for the episode sounds like this. But, if you have a roommate or Anyway, I hope you enjoy it and have a great day.
What's future?
I don't know.
Included?
Can you get the episodes out on Sunday?
Welcome to Inside Baseball.
I got my video out.
Pog. Cut that out.
Video's finally done. Took me long enough. Yeah, that's the game.
One thing I want to mention that because I forgot to tell you earlier is that the footage that you were showing off an example of the game. I was like, man, this looks really blurry. And then you immediately went, the game looks a little blurry. I was just like, all right.
Yeah, that was something that bugged me when I got used to it, but I kept it in the script because when I first started playing, I was like, fucking Christ. Mm-hmm. It just didn't look good. And it bothers me because, when you're getting, when the presentation is getting like blown the fuck out by the 1991 video game, you got problems here. And I do think that game looks worse than FF4. But watch that video, everyone. If you somehow haven't watched it yet.
Link in the show notes.
Yeah, of course. All right, but how about actual gaming news? Oh shit! Sorry, one more thing I want to mention. Null, your buddy Jason Schreier. He had a review. He made a review of the After Years. Yeah, he did. I watched it. Yeah, or I read it. It was a Kotaku article, a Craptaku article, right? And he's pretty much just saying everything I already know. It's bad, but I just thought it was funny that he's putting. Oh yeah, the sole creator of Deus Ex. Does he talk about Junction Point at all? It was his company from like the late 2000s. They were making like this game called Epic Mickey, and it was supposed to be like this kind of dark take. That's what I figured because it has a pretty bad development hell story attached to it. So I figured Schreier would touch upon it. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, it all started out with this little game called Ultima Underworld. It's a pretty poggers read. I'll start out. If you'll have me.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of Sega stuff this week. I'm not going to talk about it all at once, but I want to talk about this first one where Yakuza 7, Yakuza Like a Dragon, as it's known in the West, the RPG title is apparently the most successful title in the series worldwide. according to Sega sales numbers, which is pretty. It makes sense because Yakuza has only gotten more popular as the years go by, but it is also. Yeah, the game. No comments about the actual Yakuza, but
Well,
but it still strikes me as a little odd because the gameplay is like a JRPG. It's in a completely different style from the other Yakuza games. Seems to have worked out for them though. So well done.
Yeah. And
Sega.
they went on record a little more to say that Yakuza from this point onwards until they don't know when is going to remain a turn-based RPG game series. While Judgment focuses on action. Could not tell you.
You entitled gamers. All right, I got an axe to pick with you. All right, us RPG heads, us RPG gamers, we've been dealing with this in the inverse for like 2 decades now.
We're still dealing with it.
Yeah, and we still are. Now the tables have turned a bit.
It's called turn-based for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's
Mobile Suit
that's
Gundam
Orphan
turn a
Sign of Sorcery.
cringe.
I should have put the Cowboy Null
I was
picture.
gonna say you should have
there.
put
That would've
Cowboy
been good. I wasn't thinking of you though. I just trust me. You're not my only enemy in this battle. As far as you know.
There's literally dozens of us.
Dozens. Okay. Speak the news, Tabby.
Okay, I didn't know if you had more to say on it.
No, not really. I haven't played any Yakuza games. I actually almost bought Yakuza 7 on PS5.
Can we talk about one of your other bits of news that are related to Sega? The last point.
Last point?
Yeah, Sega considering making video.
Sega considering making video games. Yeah, I'll talk about that later.
Okay. Don't worry about that then. Instead, we will do the fighting game Power Hour, and by Power Hour I mean two dots or two and a half.
Half hour each.
No. Leona had a trailer for KOF 15. She looks cool. I like Leona. She's cool. I like her design. She's cool. Nothing much other to say other than that. We won't know more until we actually see some gameplay.
Is Mai in the game yet?
Mai has been announced. Yes, Mai has been announced.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, she was announced a while ago. But the more important news is, and I didn't put any of the other things from this because I don't care, and I don't think anybody in here plays it. There's a bunch of interviews from the lead producer or someone over at Cygames for Grand Blue. Including Grand Blue Fantasy Versus and then all the mobile game projects and stuff. There's a bunch of stuff. Go look into it if you're interested, but I'm more interested in the stuff for Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. They talked about DLC choices, and it's really funny that Cygames has actually had the first 3 seasons worth of DLC were locked in before launch.
Wow.
Yeah.
They got a lock on that.
Like the character that just released, Eustace, was planned, they were in the planning stages for his new character design and stuff that's in the Grand Blue story that's happening right now, and they were actually able to get it to line up within a month of each other or something.
It's pretty cool.
But more importantly, they were asked about rollback netcode, the thing that everybody wants to know with fighting games right now, because it's kind of
good shit.
Everybody's kind of in agreement right now. It's no rollback, no buy.
No crossing the picket line, fighting gamers. Not even for
Most people that I know are pretty much like, yeah, no, we're not gonna like.
Would you buy Persona 5 Arena if it didn't have rollback?
That's a hard one.
There it is. You know what's a fun side event game? Catherine Full Body.
Catherine Full Body is... go watch the Animevo stuff for Catherine Full Body. It's hype.
Hell yeah.
But
shoutouts to Toph.
No, everybody was like... People were going to be playing Grand Blue. Like, I was going to play Grand Blue as my main game before the whole pandemic thing happened. But that game's netcode is horrible, and then they also ended up like killing my enjoyment for the game with a big patch. So
wasn't that big patch? Didn't that come out like a month after the game?
No. This was season 3's patch. Season 2,
okay.
Whatever the most current season they're on right now. It was the big patch. Basically, they made changes to how fireballs worked and stuff, and I didn't like it because it made my character weaker. It doesn't ruin the game, but...
I've considered making a video about this topic. Like the ship of Theseus of games.
Mm-hmm.
It would be about TF2, but...
Yeah. At least
I already got the enjoyment of talking about it just now, so I won't make it anymore.
At least you can play the Xbox 360 version of it to have your original copy.
I like this. I prefer to stick to the PS3 version. All right.
Okay. But so they had an interview about rollback netcode, and the lead producer, whose name I'm just blanking on right now, I'll see if I can pull it up as I'm talking.
I believe was his name.
John Cygames.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said that like
that's why it's good at side events, because it's Cygames.
Cygames side event. No, people were going to be playing that as like their main game, and then the pandemic happened, and nobody wanted to play it anymore because the netcode sucks. But they said as of right now, there's no plans for rollback netcode. They're looking at implementing it, but because the game wasn't developed with rollback netcode in mind, it's going to be a lot harder to implement it in. And also, what is the sales going to look like for implementing rollback netcode? Because it is a very lengthy and expensive procedure to do. So it's the return on investment for them. I could see... I genuinely think any fighting game that came out before Guilty Gear Strive is not going to have rollback netcode, but every game after will. Because everybody... It took that long for Japanese devs to realize, oh, wait, this is the thing that everyone wants, even Japanese players. So, it's a mess with that, but... But old games are different because you can just brute force rollback netcode versus trying to optimize rollback netcode for current games.
Skullgirls says rollback.
It's because Skullgirls was built from the ground up with rollback netcode. You could, but the processing power required is immense because you're essentially having to render multiple states of the game simultaneously.
The absolute state of the game.
The absolute smell of the game.
What about Wu-Tang Shaolin style? Does that have rollback netcode?
I think the emulator on Fightcade has rollback netcode for that game.
Fuck off. Are you kidding me?
Well,
I was joking.
What did it release on? Not anything.
Is Def Jam on Fightcade?
No, because that's... No, it's GameCube.
Yeah, GameCube, PS2 and
so
stuff.
it would be Dolphin. Just pay Fizzy enough and have him start making rollback netcode instead of Melee.
Fuck, we need a new Def Jam. Even though it'd be shit, we need a new one.
Alright,
what the fuck else was you fighting in this?
The last bit of news for fighting games is the Guilty Gear Strive beta. Beta 2, more beta 3 started today.
You could say it started today.
I got to play one game of netplay before hopping onto this recording, so... it's over on Sunday, so you'll hear more my opinions on everything next week.
Owned. Oh, yeah, owned.
Yeah. You can't play it, but the game comes out in,
2 days.
A couple weeks. Owned.
Sunday.
Tuesday.
Nice try. Nice try.
That's the fighting game Power Hour.
Oh, fucking awesome.
Talk to me.
And I pull out my Beretta.
And I pull out my gun. Oh, Jesus, he's got a gun. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh.
Man, what a shame, Tech, huh?
Oh, yeah, right, because I got one of those. Yeah, what a shame. My heart goes out to anyone who actually does really want one really bad and can't. Don't give in. Don't give in, gamers. It's cool. It's not 700 or what was it, $1,000 from a scalper cool.
Yeah, I was actually just talking with my sister, and her boyfriend ended up buying a scalped PS5 from somebody.
How much?
He paid like $700 for the disc version. Yeah, and I was like, "That's ridiculous." And then she told me what his monthly salary is, and I'm like, "Never mind."
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was this, the 3DO? It's the Neo Geo.
The Virtual Boy.
The Virtual Boy was not $700.
Yeah, it was $500 though. It's like $700
no,
now.
It wasn't. It was like, I think it was like, I'm gonna say max. It was $200, which is a lot. But it's not. I don't even think that's 700 in inflated bucks.
It's $300 in 2019. It was less than 200. Huh?
How did it fail?
I thought it was higher for some reason.
$300. It was like blatantly not finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been hearing like a lot of these stories from like every company now. Like even Nintendo is like, yep, we're fucked. Everyone's fucked. It's one of those days where you don't want to wake up, can't get a PS5. Don't really know why, but you want to justify buying from a scalper. No human contact.
No, I mean,
scalp PS5s. Your life is on contract. Best bet to stay away, motherfucker. Is this one of those days?
So we're in an electronics shortage. We've talked about this for weeks now. Like, we will
never stop.
Do you want electronics? Wait.
Die.
10 years probably. Uh-huh. I actually had
how it worked.
I didn't have the money for it. I wish I did, because I was just on Twitter and I saw Wario64 tweet out that GTX 3000 series cards were available. And I went to Best Buy and I could have bought one. I got to the site fast enough.
But you were like, no.
But I was like, I don't have any money, and I would have to buy $1,000 worth of computer parts just to make this work.
I don't even. It's always. I like them on my feed. There's worse. There's worse people to follow that clog up my feed.
Hey,
I'd say.
Don't call me out like that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you do that a lot, but I wasn't talking about you.
Okay. Probably. Yeah.
How are your blood clots, by the way?
What do you think of Bill Gates?
Wait, Tabby, did you get Moderna?
I got Pfizer.
Oh, okay. Damn. If because I got Pfizer too, so it could have been like, yeah, like a trifecta. Yeah. Precisely. Yeah, like the three starters in Pokemon. What do you mean? Well, no, because Bulbasaur's cool.
Yeah.
Johnson and John. Bulbasaur is definitely like he's definitely Pfizer for sure.
I'm not allowing this bit to happen anymore. I'm sorry.
Nope. Squirtle's Moderna.
All right. So
yeah.
So
yeah, people are lining up across the block to get this Johnson and Johnson because it's one shot.
Oh, can I actually, since we're talking about Pokemon, I want to segue into something. I want to talk about a new update from Target, also Walmart as of now. Are pulling Pokemon and sports cards from their stores.
They're just not going to sell them
They're just not going to sell them. And they state the reason why is literally out of fear of safety of the employees at the store.
It's close enough.
It's adjacent enough, and I wanted an excuse to talk about it and how I think it's the funniest shit on the planet.
You could have leaked.
When did you get that bulletin? Okay. Oh wow, yeah, I didn't see this news until today, so look at you. Yeah. I just want just to be brief, as it's gaming adjacent, but the Pokemon card market is an entire scam, and if you're buying into it now, you've actually fallen for one of the most successful scams I think in the past decade.
What about Dogecoin?
Dogecoin is just idiots wasting money. That's literally gambling. The thing with Pokemon is that all the whole Pokemon craze of buy the old booster boxes for $30,000 stuff that was happening all over YouTube was because of one individual who is a known scammer who got on some other Twitch channel and was just lying out of his teeth, and people have started taking what he does and lying out of his teeth, just not knowing that it's oh, you opened this super mega awesome chocolatey foil Charizard, that's worth $20,000 if it's in a specific grading. If it's a 1 in 1 million chance of actually getting it, it's most likely worth 200.
Well,
yeah.
Black Lotus,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I out of a Yu-Gi-Oh card pack, I think it was Magician's Force or something, I pulled a Dark Paladin, secret rare or ultra rare, whichever one that was. And I remember seeing years later that, what was it? There's two versions of Dark Paladin. There's one where it's the half body art, and that one's pretty valuable. It's pretty good, or a pretty expensive card. But then there's the full art of him, where it's like his entire body, because Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't do the full art stuff anyway. And that one's like worth a significantly higher amount of money. I swear to you all, I'm not like misremembering this. I swear to Christ, I had the full body art of the Dark Paladin. I don't know what happened to it.
Just
not that it would have been worth anything in the condition.
My final aside on this is, hey, do you want to collect trading cards or collectible cards or anything like that? That's great. That's fantastic. Do you want to try to do anything like that for investments or the like? Don't. That's stupid. You are wasting your money. Yeah.
Just buy all the Marnie cards you can.
If you're one of these people going out to Target or whatever and buying up all the booster packs, all the collector's boxes to just sit on them for 20 years, like, you need to remember that there's like 30 times the print run minimum for everything now. Like, the reason... Yep. They didn't. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Who is sitting on copies of Balan Wonderworld?
Every retailer.
Yeah, exactly, right. There's like some cases, like some edge cases where like a game from a couple of years ago is like super expensive now, like that Godzilla PS4 game, or like any Shin Megami Tensei game released. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I feel like this is just like the what was it? This is like almost exactly like the time in the 90s when like comics started getting big again, and you had all those limited edition first issues that people kept buying in droves because they thought it would be popular, or they thought they'd be expensive one day.
That's happening with comics again, by the way. Beanie Babies.
Yeah, this like Beanie Babies.
Yeah, it's like,
I never understood baseball cards.
If you're gonna buy, if you want to collect old graded cards, or if you have cards you want to get graded, go through legitimate resources. Don't go through some guy who claims to be like a good transactioner and whatnot, because those guys are always trying to scam you out of your cash. They're always trying to sell you fake shit. Like,
or you could just watch Ludwig and live vicariously through his Pokemon opening experiences.
He talked to the scammer.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
That guy, the guy who talks about the grading stuff. He's not the guy that started this though. The guy who started it was Logan Paul.
No. It was a different guy. It's not even Logan Paul. Well, no, it was Logan Paul. Logan Paul talked to this dude. I don't remember the dude's name right now, but that guy was selling people resealed boxes and resealed booster packs and shit like that.
That's sick. That's hype.
No. It's like no. It's I don't care. I don't care if you're like edging these like Twitch multi-millionaires out of their, pocket change for the month. Like, it's, yeah. Yeah. No, that was a legitimate thing that you still do with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, you can't do it as well anymore because the way to tell if there was a holo in packs was there would literally just be an extra card in the pack, so you could easily tell if there was a holo. Yes.
Yeah.
Which is bullshit.
Gotcha.
Yu-Gi-Oh needs to fucking step up its rarity. Yeah, you look like a Melvin. It's just terrible. Just a terrible look. No one wants to actually do that.
So just to delve into this slightly more, because I actually did some research on it back when this was all first happening. 3-hour podcast, ladies and gentlemen. No, so that guy is also affiliated with a bunch of these other like Pokemon buy sell channels. I could not tell you their names. Like, I've forgotten at this point. This is months ago. But
terrible whistleblower. But those guys are selling grading services that are like claiming to be PSA, but are clearly not. I don't know what they look like. Hey, they have streamed with Ludwig before, so
no,
anyone who streams with Ludwig is a suspect in this ongoing investigation.
Y'all talk about your shit. I'm going to fucking Google this again.
Okay, so enough about fucking Pokemon cards. Zombies Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol are coming to modern consoles June 29th. Zombies Ate My Neighbors is a classic like 90s SNES. I think it was on Genesis too. It was like a top-down like shooter kind of game where you go through these like big sprawling levels, find like pieces or like you find like keys or whatever to get to the next level. It just keeps going on, and the aesthetic is like, you know, you're going through like a suburban neighborhood and zombies have taken over. It's a cool game. It's a classic. I didn't know Lucasfilm made it, but I guess they did. And Ghoul Patrol is, I hear no one talk about it, and apparently it's bad. But, you know, you get $15 for both of them. And this is being done by .emu. I was actually talking about these guys last week when the Flashback 2 thing got announced. That .emu does a lot of these, like, retro re-releases. And what do you know? Lo and behold, they did another one. By the way, you two are very harsh. I've re-listened to that episode. Very harsh about the Flashback news.
What?
Well, because you two were talking about how like you don't understand why, like, who wants this. It's like so mean. Like, come on. Yes. I just don't understand who this is for.
Oh yeah. No, I stand by that. Yes.
No. I've heard of it.
I found the people. I want to throw under the bus.
All right, it's time for the Tabby Names hour.
So ZNG Emporium was one of the first guys I saw with this. I still couldn't find the bald dude.
ZFG?
No, Z and G. This dude is he's like an Alpha Investments. He's a Pokemon market manipulator. That's seemingly how he makes all his money, by having a YouTube presence and being like, well, it's literally like you spend a bunch of money like running an eBay store or whatever, and then you go, this right here, this is the hot shit, and you have like 40K people watching your videos, so half of them go, that is what I should buy, and then they do that, and then it raises the price, and then the stuff they bought they sell for 15% less, still make double their money. Like, it's okay, no, kind of. So Alpha Investments has a Patreon subscription thing where you can pay him like $15 a month, and he will sell you booster boxes. The booster boxes that you can buy from him are below market value, and the other advantage is that you will buy, like, he will sometimes sell old product for cheap on there. There's like, that's the only reason you do it. I know people who would buy them. It's like, yeah, I buy one box of a standard set. It's like, you're paying $15 a month to buy a box for $80. It's every 3 months you're paying 40, you're paying 125. You're paying more than just buying a booster box at retail for your one box. And that was when I worked at the hobby shop, and I explained it to them. They're like, yeah, but I'm gonna just keep buying from him because it's only $80. You just lose those people.
Stonks.
But the other people is Graded Gem. This is the website. Graded Gem is claiming to be a PSA official agent and claiming to offer PSA graded cards. I have seen the cards they come back, and they are either being shady as fuck or like aren't actually PSA grading, because there's stuff that they claim are like 9s that I'm like, that is clearly an 8. It is off-centered by like 3 millimeters. And that shit matters in the grading
no clue
rooms.
How this works.
It's like I've worked with graded cards for years, and I'm very familiar with this, and their work is very shoddy and shady. So I am calling you out, Graded Gem, www.gradedgem.com.
Yeah, speak your mind. 3 against 1. It's really more like 1v1 because I'm indifferent about this, and Null is a door. So
well, it's actually a 2v1 because there's 2 of them and 1 of me.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll jump in and I'll like slip it. Cut that.
Everything about these guys just feels like a scam. I don't trust them. I've seen their shit. They're also charging like significantly cheaper for PSA grading, and it's just like It's this whole thing. Sure.
That's right, Jay. But you know what's not alleged? I'll tell you what isn't alleged. The Persona 5 vinyl being delayed. I Am 8-Bit just posted a delay on the Persona 5 Essential Edition repress. This was announced back in, I believe, December, alongside a Persona 5 Royal vinyl release. What's up, Tavi?
Collectibles Guru is the bald guy's name. Continue.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, right. This was announced back in December. The Persona 5 box set has been been begged for to be repressed for pretty much ever since it sold out in like 2017 or whenever the fuck it came out from I Am 8-Bit.
Yep.
And they finally announced the repress of the 4 LP edition. The 6 LP one is still it's gonna stay out of print because that's just how they want it to be, like exclusive or whatever, which is fine. Like 6 LPs is kind of pushing it anyway. But regardless, it's facing a 10-week delay, so it's going to arrive with the Persona 5 Royal soundtrack in July. So that's my life.
Yeah, I almost pre-ordered that for the 4 LP set because I didn't get the 6 LP one, and then I was like looking at it in my cart, and I really was thinking just like, do I care about anything from the Persona 5 soundtrack? I'm a sharpshooter. Oh, that smells great. No, like there's a couple of good songs, but it's.
Hey, we're gonna have something to say about genealogies later.
Yes.
It's like you were about to pay for a 23andMe genealogy test, and you were just like, do I really care about any of the music from Persona 5?
Yeah, it's just like there's a couple songs that I'm like, oh yeah, those are good. I'll listen to that. And then there's songs like Rivers in the Desert, which I listened to again maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, yeah, that song's really not good.
What? You're fucking. That's cap, as they say.
I think I'm just sick of it, maybe, because like I'm listening to it and I'm just like, yeah, it's whatever.
Shit, it's not the song's fault you liked it too much.
No, I just.
I forgot to mention the reason why it's being delayed is because there's a shipping container storage.
Yeah,
I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, no,
never heard this as a problem before. But
I know people who work at the docks in Portland, like who handle the shipping container stuff, and they're tearing their hair out right now.
Hey, aren't we all?
Yeah.
Not me. I'm just kidding. I'm cool. I'm cool as a cucumber. Got any news, Tabby?
I've got some more news.
It's canceled.
Oh, my news is canceled? All right.
No, Cucumber Quest.
Oh. Well, you know what's not canceled? Capcom. Yet, even though they've leaked all their employees' information. Well, they didn't leak it. Someone hacked it, and you know what I mean.
Hey, they could have paid for that ransom.
With the release of Resident Evil Village, which I think sold like 7 million copies opening weekend or something.
I bought at least 6 of those, yeah.
Oh, cool. This is the 4th year for record high consecutive profits for the company.
Damn. It's
which
almost
is
like when you make good games, you make money. Isn't that crazy, everyone?
I think that coincides right with RE7 and like Monster Hunter World coming out.
Monster Hunter World was like 2016, I think.
Something like that. No, it was 2017. It was the same year. It was the same day Dragon Ball FighterZ came out.
Was it?
Yes.
Shit. Oh, you know what? I think it was announced 2016.
No, it was 2018. It was January 2018.
Oh wow. Okay.
But yeah, so they earned a lot of money.
Never mind.
The rough their shares, their earnings per share increased by like $40 like $40 or something. Like it's kind of crazy.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're Monster Hunter, they're basically like, oh, all our games are doing well. Apparently, Rockman X Dive and Street Fighter Duel, mobile games exclusively for the Asia regions, are doing well enough for them. Obviously, like their games are selling well, but their other stuff isn't because, pandemic. They're like, yeah, our arcades aren't doing well. I wonder why. But yeah, that's all. Capcom seems to be doing well in everything but the fighting game department right now. That's really the only thing I want from them, like, to vastly improve on.
Can they make another Mega Man game?
I don't think so.
They can't make another one? Okay.
Oh, I thought you said, are they?
No, I asked, can they?
Oh, can they? No. Inti Creates will make it.
I heard 11 didn't sell well, which is sad to hear.
I didn't know it came out until after it released. I don't feel like there was any marketing for it.
I mean, I was aware of it, but I can't say.
I feel like people don't care about Mega Man anymore. I think that's just the sad truth, is that Mega Man isn't as big as your other, like, the people who you're trying to nostalgia bait right now don't have nostalgia for Mega Man. Yeah, people have nostalgia for Mega Man Battle Network, but they're not releasing any of those or doing anything with that.
Hey, we got the whole year left.
Yeah, we do.
For its 20th.
It's E3. There could be something, but
that seems like something that Nintendo would announce at their E3 showcase,
like Mega Man Battle Network collection, but only the bad ones.
Something like that. No, it'd be all of them. I mean, they announced the Panzer Dragoon remake at their E3 show. So
okay, well, yeah, I think Capcom really just needs a strong fighting game to do well, like whether it's Street Fighter 6 or whatever else they're working on. Probably only Street Fighter 6 because they don't care about any of their other fighting game properties, and they lost Marvel vs. Capcom.
What fucking Capcom game do I want them to make again? They've been doing good. What? Oh yeah, Darkstalkers. That'd be cool.
Darkstalkers is dead.
Vampire Saviors. Yeah. I can play the original one on the Sega Saturn.
They have a good category of fighting games. They're just not going to make them. They're just going to shove them as references into Street Fighter 6.
It is.
Yeah.
The last time we got a Bionic Commando was 7th gen.
Yeah.
That gritty reboot, but it also had like a side scroller spinoff game.
Yeah. When are we gonna get Tech Romancer? Yeah.
The fuck is Tech Romancer?
It's a 3D fighting game where you are giant robots.
Out.
But you're
Never
mecha.
mind. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm in again. How about Dark Void 2?
Was Dark Void? Is that the game that the what's that MMO that people like? That's like Destiny but free to play.
Black Desert.
No. Warframe.
Warframe.
Is it the Warframe guys?
I actually don't know. I know nothing about Dark Void. Just that it existed. How about they make a Good Dead Rising? That'd be...
No, can't do that.
Yeah, you're right. Too hard.
Yes. Dark Void was the guys who ended up making Warframe. I was right.
Well, at least they're doing it well for themselves.
Yeah. Did you know Bear McCreary composed that game?
No, I didn't know that.
I should play that game.
Yeah. See if it's... did you play this?
Just for Bear McCreary. Bear McCreary's a great composer. Video games.
Why would... Okay, so... Oh, no. Don't you know? Sony doesn't make video games. They make movies.
One thing I don't know why. Why'd I buy a PS5 with no games to buy?
Venom 2 trailer dropped this week. Yes. Did you two check out Venom? Let There Be Carnage.
So null. Talk to me about Sony's games.
They might later.
This sounds like Microsoft, but I believe them.
But my Tommy gun don't.
I do think they need to actually say something like that due to what's it called? Like, people are looking at the PS5 library. It's like, okay, Returnal, is that the first PS5 only game that's not a remake? Bugsnax's PC is on PC.
Yep.
I think Returnal's the first PS5 exclusive. Well, Ratchet and Clank will be launch window.
Ratchet and Clank's coming out next month.
It's already gold, actually. It just went gold today.
Yeah, coming out next month. I was worried they weren't going to make any games.
Yeah. Nope, it is only on the remake's on PS5, and then there's the PS3 version, which emulates very well.
It emulates. I tried to emulate it and it would crash on me in the tutorial level is all I'm saying.
When did you do that? Because it's gotten a lot better in the past 6 months.
When did the remake come out? But no, you're a retro game reviewer. You're supposed to care a lot about it.
You're either supposed to hate it or love it. There's no middle ground.
Yeah.
Raw. I wonder if Ratchet and Clank is going to cause system level crashes that require you to factory reset the PS5.
Oh, fingers crossed. I can't wait.
It's a real roguelike. You have to reset your system if you die.
If you die, I don't know what to tell you guys, but like you don't just lose your save.
Yeah, you have to go buy a new PS5.
You know that game that like only lets you play it once? Well, oh fuck it. I want to say One Shot, but it's not One Shot. It's
Undertale.
No, kind of, but I don't remember what it was called. It was like it's like some like social experiment indie game or whatever that if you lose in the game, or if you once you beat the game you can't open it anymore or something. I don't know. Yeah, that would be interesting. I agree. Kojimbo's master plan. He rused us again. My PS5 is on fire.
The next Metal Gear Solid game will set off a real nuke in the middle of the United States of America. I got you.
Fuck.
Richard Raffhorst. The name of the movie is Frankenstein's Army. Huh.
Army.
Do we want to even mention? That's big spoilers.
I wasn't even aware it was spoilers.
I mean, you are revealing what monsters look like in a game like. Can we block? Is this being cut? Like, is it? Can I just talk for a little bit about this? Like, there are monster designs that you would not expect to show up in this game from what if you've only seen the official trailers. Let's just put it like that.
I don't know.
I'm looking at these and I think there's some coincidences. Okay,
I don't think I really don't think that this was a factor. I just rewatched that Kimba the White Lion video by YMS today, and I'm getting some Kimba Simba from Suspicious vibes from this. Sorry, forgot to breathe.
Like,
boy, it just reminded me of it is all. I don't know. Like I'm not trying to be to say that this guy is wrong for feeling the way he does. I just don't think that they ripped him off.
Well, also a lot of these designs also look like BioShock designs. So I don't even see, like, I'm like,
the propeller guy in Resident Evil is like this dude that literally has a propeller like staple onto his head, and then the guy, the one in Frankenstein's army, is like built around it. I don't know. I just don't really see it. They're on fire, I guess, but like an engine catches on fire.
All right, I'm gonna watch 2 clips of this in motion.
Fuck you, Null. I'm kidding. Fair enough. Well said. Tabby, you got some news for us?
I've got some news. I can talk about news. Let's talk about more dumb video game adjacent stuff. This isn't really video game adjacent. This is about video games, but it's kind of
3-hour podcast.
3-hour podcast. So a organization which I think may be related to Intel in some way.
Organization 13.
Well, they specifically, like, their name is Intel ISL, but none of their websites directly link back to Intel. They all link to like these like open source and like scientific documentation stuff. But long story short is they are using a process in real time to make Grand Theft Auto 5 photorealistic.
Finally.
And to be honest, it's kind of like insane how good it looks. Like, I'm normally not one to be like, yeah, we need all the games to be photorealistic and stuff. I don't think that's necessary. But like, looking at the comparison images, and I'll just screen grab this for those in the podcast. Like,
I don't know. This kind of sounds like, it looks like they're ripping off real life. I'm sorry, no. I'm sorry.
Like, this is... It looked like, it's like, yeah, this looks like someone shooting a Hollywood movie. They have a green tint over it due to for smoothing and shit, but like, it's like, yeah, I could see that just being, someone tells me that's real footage, I'd go, I believe you.
This does look pretty nutty.
I mean, theoretically.
Oh, shit, that'd be cool.
Do you want to see his realistic cock?
Can we do that for, let's do this for Cave Story. How about that? That'd be cool. Maybe like Super Mario 64. Cube World? Yes,
Yes.
I'm well aware of photorealistic Steve, and I wish I wasn't. He was gone for a while, but then he got announced for Smash, and he came back with a vengeance. Fucking God. But thanks for reminding me of him anyway.
Yeah, I thought that was neat and cool. And hopefully we can see it implemented in a larger sense in the future somehow.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Speaking of crossing your fingers, if you were hoping for the summer of games to be reasonable and over the course of like 1 week, you're wrong. Because EA Play is coming back on July 22nd. Yeah, but everyone is in agreement that Summer of Games sucked in 2020 because it was literally happening from May to October. I mean, it is, but it's bad for me as someone who enjoys E3 weekend.
All right, but let's be honest. You don't enjoy watching the Electronic Arts show. I watched it once in like 2015. I regret wasting my hour. I've never watched one since.
The EA show? No, you have to watch it. It's like the second funniest conference of the weekend.
I was just bored. Of it. It was just boring. It was the one where they announced. I think it was the one where they announced Jedi Fallen Order in the audience, or whatever. Actually, no, that couldn't be it if it was 2015.
Yeah.
I don't know, but no.
They've had bad. I mean, like, I like EA games. I don't feel like you like EA games, so.
Say it ain't so.
Name one EA game that you like that's not Dragon Age Origins.
What makes you think I like Dragon Age Origins?
I don't know. You just seem like someone who would like Dragon Age Origins.
I don't know if I can name an EA game I like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins.
No, Ultima 9 Ascension. I
don't know about that.
Never played that one.
Have you played Mass Effect?
No, I haven't actually played Mass Effect.
Have you played any Battlefield game ever?
Nope.
I
haven't played Mirror's Edge.
That one's good, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Have you played any BioWare game just ever?
No, I don't think I've played a single BioWare game. It was. I don't know if it still is. Challenge everything. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That was... there was that Lord of the Rings game I played. That was EA.
Alright, you got one.
It was cut content for the JRPG video.
Video coming soon.
Cut.
Can you talk about it here? Can you talk about it right now? Can you talk about how
the cutting room floor article of the JRPG video? That there's files for a ninth game. I'm sorry. Look, I didn't have time. It got cut. It got cut for time.
The forbidden ninth game. Exclusive to Journalism Not Guaranteed Platinum members.
I never beat it is the thing. I got like a couple hours in and realized like there's still so much more game left. It's December 4th and I need to finish this video. Oh, okay. Well, the idea was that I was going it was going to be like a juxtaposition after I talked about the Persona games, is that I play a Tolkien Lord of the Rings game. And then the idea is that, like, Tech, why are you playing this in a JRPG video? This is obviously not a JRPG. And then the idea was supposed to pivot from a review of the game into what makes a JRPG, and the futility of genre names and conventions. It was a little big brained. I just couldn't figure out a way to make it sound not awkward. So I cut it.
All right.
I need to see this. I need to see this. You need to show me this after. I want to see what makes it retro so bad.
Same.
If I have what remains of the script of the Lord of the Rings part, I'll send it to you because I did write stuff for it. Yeah, I'll give you my trade secrets if you give me your trade secrets.
I've got 2 things left, and one of them's the weekly update on the lawsuit.
Fuck. I've got 1, 2, 3 things. So, I'll all right. So this is another Sega update. This actually comes from the same source as the Yakuza thing, but I figured I'd separate it since it's technically a different part of the same story. But anyway, Sega's Shuji Utsumi, he was talking to Famitsu. That's where we got the Yakuza thing. And in addition to announcing the success of Yakuza 7, he also said that he wants Sega to quote-unquote globally expand Atlas games by releasing them simultaneously worldwide and possibly on multiple platforms. So apparently they've said this before, once bitten, twice shy, as they say, but please God, can we get some worldwide releases on these fucking Persona games and whatever the fuck else Atlas makes? It is insane that it took... I get why it maybe took a year for Strikers to come out, but the fact that it took Royal 6 months is like fucked up and not cool. So, this is good news. Would be nice. Well, I'm not going to imply that people in droves import these games and play them that way, because that obviously doesn't happen. But it's easier. It's just easier for everyone if, especially these like story heavy games, get released worldwide, because otherwise you pretty much have to go on media blackout if you don't want like the plot of Persona 5 spoiled for you or something, because it was what was it? The game came out in like Japan in like November or October, and then it came out over here in the West in April. So just stuff like that. It'd be nice to get these games worldwide, especially with how successful they are. And yeah, that's one more thing about Sega, which I will discuss in a bit. Null. Is that
I sure do.
Game?
Doesn't your roommate have a Switch? I don't know. Go buy it.
I understand.
Purchase it as a gift to him and then play it. I don't know. I don't really like. I don't see that as like a weird thing because like to be fair, I've never been in a situation that people want to play. That I had friends that wanted to play video games in the same room as me, but like I don't know. It'd be like I'll like. Hey, I want to play this game on your system that you have, and then they could be like, okay, well, I want to play this game on your system. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's room.
Hey, does the Genesis actually work? Did it turn on? Oh God. Have you tried the composite? Are you fucking kidding me?
He's been using an RF to composite adapter. Oh God.
I never used the RF on the Genesis. I hope it's not because the system is fucked. It shouldn't be. Legendary puzzle game Zoop.
We'll do this. So Don't Nod came out and was talking about
Congratulations.
Because they were getting asked
Very happy for them.
They were getting it's been a long day. They were getting interviewed by a lot of people because they're not working on the new Life is Strange game, and so people are like, well, what are you doing? What do you want? And they're like, yeah, we didn't want to work on Life is Strange anymore. We wanted to do our own thing. And
Balan Wonderworld 2.
I'm just thinking of the Life is Strange mascot platformer.
Let's spoil Life is Strange.
Every time she jumps, hella lit. Fuck you.
Based.
No, but they're like, yeah, we don't want to work on that. We've also received, a lot of buyouts from several companies, and offers, and they've declined all of them because they want to remain independent. Which good for them on keeping that stance, because a lot of companies wouldn't do that. And I mean, the only thing you can really safely
buyouts
assume,
are moving on their own.
the only two companies that you can safely assume I think really bought them would either have been Square Enix, who they've worked with in the past, and to make them the Life is Strange studio, and then Microsoft, because it's Microsoft, and of course they would.
Tell me why.
Or like THQ Nordic maybe, but I don't.
No, it's a Spirits Within raid.
Shut up.
Because Max is a huge fan of Spirits Within. Thinks it's underrated.
You're right.
No,
Maxine Caulfield.
Yeah.
I forgot her name until you said that. Now
I thought it was. I was gonna say Sheffield.
Hey, do you guys want to go catch some rye later?
Oh, I get it. The good one. Fuck. What else did they say in that game?
Hella.
Gumshoe never released part 2.
That game, by the way. So I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, but I know I think I've told one of you. Is I played and pretended to like Life is Strange to try to get with a girl at one point.
Based.
Didn't work. but I own a physical but I own a physical copy of the game now.
What the fuck?
I like the front bottoms. Yeah,
that's an L.
You say you fell off the deep end, or is that what? Oh fuck it. Front bottoms. True.
Couldn't be me. I hate that skeleton song so much, dude. I don't know that one. I only know the skeleton song.
I like the front bottoms. I'm gonna say it.
I don't.
That's fair. Do you want to bleep that out that you say you listen to them?
Just the whole time? Like, what are they talking about?
They should have used the shotgun.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. I have tried so hard to get into car seat headrests, and I just can't. I've listened to Twin Fantasy and Teens of Denial. I did not like, outside of like 2 songs, I did not like any of them. They just do this thing where like they'll have like 12-minute songs and they just won't go anywhere for most of it, and it bugs me.
Don't you like Neutral Milk Hotel?
What is that supposed to mean? Neutral Milk Hotel doesn't have 12-minute songs that don't go anywhere.
No, but it's...
They have...
The Gay Fox Man?
Isle of Dogs?
It's... I know the one you're talking about.
I was vacuuming!
That's Twin Fantasy.
Oh? You don't think so?
I don't know. I think we have a professional vacuumer with us right now who would beg to disagree.
I'm a professional sucker. Uh-oh.
Stinky.
It's not plugged in.
Is it?
This episode's scuffed.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about video games. We're talking about the fucking front bottoms.
Yeah, it's sick.
We're talking about car seat headrest, who I also don't like. And I have given a chance. I gave them a big chance. I don't usually listen to a second album after not liking the first.
I try to give 2 albums, because what if it's like, oh, I listened to something early and I don't like it, but their new stuff's good.
Well, that's just never true.
No, that's
the new
true.
stuff's always bad, Tabby. Don't you understand? That's when they sold out.
No.
Fucking news. Oh god. Sega's making video games. Okay, final Sega story. Sega is considering rebooting their old IPs that you haven't seen in for fucking ever, while working on a super game, whatever this is. They mentioned all sorts of like past IPs that people really love, like Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Knights, Space Channel 5, Panzer Dragoon, and Rez. Yes, Knights, Into Dreams.
Knights is a Sega... No, Knights, sorry. Rez is a Sega game?
Rez is a... Yeah, Rez... I think it's kind of like a Bayonetta thing where like they own the rights to it.
I just assumed it was like French or something.
Well, Rez was on the Dreamcast.
Do you call it high res?
Well, it gets like abandoned in like 6 months or something.
Oh.
Sounds awesome. Doesn't everyone hate high res? Oh, that's true. Yeah, I still have opinion.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna say this hot take: Paladins better than Overwatch.
It's not a hot take. We've all seen the Shammy video. Yep.
We've
all seen the Shammy video.
I literally forgot about that. No, I literally played Paladins the same time as Overwatch. And I'm like, man, this game's better than Overwatch. But my friends played Overwatch, so I kept playing that. I also played.
Or was it you didn't notice, but your brain did?
Also, I played Gigantic way before that video because I played it when that game was still playable. And that game's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Shammy thought so too.
Fuck you.
You know what Gigantic I like? Gigantic by the Pixies. Better than Car Seat Headrest, for sure.
Oh my god.
Pixies are great.
Yeah.
Want to just talk about music now?
No. So, the Noel, do you have any news? All right.
Oh, fuck.
I will make this hard for you to edit. Well, you see, they didn't want people to know because that means they'd have to pay Sony, their royalty fees for crossplay. So speaking of Destiny, I don't remember if we talked about this, but they were adding transmog into their game, so there's a new update on that, because that patch has come out. It takes roughly 60 hours of gameplay to get to the point where you will hit the cap for transmog items, and that's 10 items.
Is that good or bad?
So you basically to transmog items, you have to get enough of this super currency. And the super currency, I think you can buy it with real money, or you can earn it by doing these in-game missions. And the missions take an hour. They take 2 hours to do, and you have to do 5 of them, but you can technically get them done in an hour if you speedrun it perfectly.
Easy.
And get lucky RNG drops. So it's at minimum it's taking you 6 hours an item, and you can only do 10 of them in a season, which is just yeah, but instead of making your players grind to be able to put on their fancy clothing, make them grind good content with good rewards.
This is Destiny. They don't do that.
Oh, true.
It's just...
Put a pin in it.
Wait, no, the put a pin in this is to come back to it later.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to it later next week. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna. Sure. So that's pretty standard for like big stuff. Like Warzone does the same thing. Apex does the same thing. Fair.
I'm good on my news.
All right. So the last thing
Yes.
is the it's the Journalism Not Guaranteed weekly update of the Epic versus Apple trial. Not much has happened. We're not.
Thank God.
Thank God. This isn't as big as last week, where I mean, last week was a lot of opening statements and early cross examinations.
Talk about the banana thing.
I was gonna get to that. I was just about to get to that. So
I need to know the context of this.
I need to see the tweet again, and I didn't mark it down. Here.
Nice. Did they show Chun-Li's ass? That would have been like a smoking gun, I feel like. I don't think we talked about that last week because that wasn't a thing yet. Yeah, they like just like completely threw Itch under the bus, which is really funny. Question is there a Gumroad app on itch.io? I mean, on the Apple Store. Does anyone have?
Mm-hmm.
For real? Okay.
Yeah.
It was against the law. It was against the law.
It's the most lawyer speak that I feel like I've seen this case come up. Like I'll just reading a little expert from it. There's the attorney and Wessinger, who Wessinger is a representative for Epic. I don't know where they're at in the company. It's Apple attorney. We have like here's a set of images that we have in lawyer speak. Wessinger goes yes, and it's like the attorney goes, and we have a large yellow banana here, don't we? In a tuxedo? Yes, that is Peely. And that's Peely, did you say? Yes. And in fact, in the tuxedo, he's known as Agent Peely. That is correct. We thought it'd be better go with the suit than the naked banana, since we are in a federal court this morning. And like, then they come back to it when they like, we talked about Peely, our banana, yada yada. If we could just put on screen a picture of Peely, is there anything inappropriate about Peely without clothes? And Wessinger says the line, "It's just a banana, ma'am."
There's always money in the banana stand.
And someone in the reply to this made the edit in Ace Attorney, and I'm gonna have to watch that later.
Everyone, that's free content right there. They even have websites that let you generate that shit.
Yes. That's very funny. Yes. Trying to get them to fuck up their sentence or something to indict them, or...
You're out of touch.
I can't wait for this the Supreme Court to hit the whip and the nay-nay.
That's cap.
Yes.
I love video games.
This is very minor, but I just found it kind of funny as like anecdotal. On the Epic Games Store, they have like a top 20 selling games or whatever on their website. Currently, it has 25 games listed.
Oh,
and it's in rows of 5. So
That's
it's like very easy to see like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
That's just because they're so epic. They put 25 in
It's
the
so
20.
epic it took them 578 days to add a search bar. Yes.
Can we get like a Tim Rogers counter, or like take a shot whenever one of us mentions Tim Rogers?
Hey, Tim Rogers, come on the podcast.
I'll bring him up sometimes. Oh my god. Don't even put that thought in my ear.
Lastly, and this is probably the biggest news out of everything in regards to like the industry, is Epic is wanting
sure?
out from this week is what I meant to say at the end of that. Epic was wanting to bring first-party Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony titles to PC through the Epic Games Store.
Did we not talk about this last week?
No, we didn't. No.
Okay.
If we did, sorry.
Bitch, you're gonna hear it again.
So I think the big thing with this is point and laugh at the rich man with the Popeyes cup, because you're not getting... Nintendo's not going to port their first-party titles to PC. That's just not going to happen.
It's really funny that like they had like expectations for whether or not they were going to get like these games, and Nintendo was like moonshot. There's absolutely like there's almost zero possibility of this happening.
Yep.
It's like, yes, there's absolutely no way you will get Mario on your fucking store.
Corporate history says this is a non-starter. And then in regards to Microsoft, which I also think won't happen, because Microsoft is releasing their games on PC
and Steam.
Well, I think what they'd be trying to do is they'd be trying to like get those games, instead of releasing on Steam, release on the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, I don't see that happening because
I don't see that
they
happening.
still have the Windows Store.
Mm-hmm. And I think with Epic, you like can't release elsewhere. Like even if it's like,
they'd probably try like a Game Pass thing too. Like they'd want like games that are on Epic to be like on Game Pass as well, and I don't think Epic would like that.
They specifically have a bullet that says they're PC Game Pass leaders against what we're doing. So
leaders against what we're doing. See, that's fancy talk for we don't make money from Game Pass.
And then for Sony, they have currently have an offer extended for 200 million. I don't know what MG Plus is. Metal Gear Plus. They have roughly $200 million extended for 4 to 6 titles to release on to the Epic Games Store. They didn't say what titles. And they also said they're awaiting feedback. So,
well, we already got a couple of games on Epic from Sony, like Horizon and Days Gone are on.
But those also Horizon released on GOG, and Days Gone released on Steam.
That's still so surreal to me.
Yeah.
That these Sony titles are
here.
on PC.
I think those are the not selling well Sony titles. Because I don't think
I thought Horizon sold good.
I think Horizon sold good
enough to make a sequel.
I don't think it sold what they wanted though. Like it's like, okay, we can still scrap some money from this game. Let's put it on PC. Like God of War, everyone who's going to play God of War has played God of War.
I might play God of War.
No, you won't.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. Same with like The Last of Us 2. Like people aren't going to buy that on PC because they bought it on their PS4 already.
What if they want to mod it?
The only game that I could like maybe see is like Ghost of Tsushima, but
I will play that.
And that's that's Sucker Punch, and Sucker Punch, are they first party yet? Did they get bought?
Yeah, no, they're first party.
Okay.
Or they're they're like like how Monolith is a first party studio for Nintendo.
Yeah, their parent company is Sony Interactive Entertainment.
I think they got bought after like Sly 3 or something.
Yeah, I think it was. I thought it was more recent. I thought it was like after the Infamous games.
Maybe, I don't know. I was just blowing smoke.
All right, wow, just lying on the podcast. Who would do that?
A journalist.
Guaranteed.
Games journalist.
Bond.
James Bond.
Yeah, I think.
Shaken, not stirred.
I think that.
Is that all your news, Tabby?
Yeah, the last sentence I want to say is I think Epic is kind of crazy for thinking they could get Nintendo and Microsoft stuff to be Epic exclusives.
I think they're fun. I think it's funny.
I think it's really funny. I just think it's like there's no way in hell that either of them are taking it. With how much Microsoft has been pushing their side of the PC market, and then Nintendo is Nintendo, like, I think you would literally have to offer Nintendo $1 billion.
There's this story from a long time ago where Microsoft approached Nintendo for a buyout, and they literally just got laughed out of the room.
We've talked about that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we talked about that on the podcast before. It's a really funny story, and I like it a lot. I genuinely believe that Nintendo would rather die than fucking put their stuff on PC. No, it's shoot for the moon.
You can't
and land among the stars.
You can't say the word among.
Among Us? Do we have any Among Us news?
The limited run games Among Us.
Oh yeah, limited run games is selling Among Us.
$80 for a Steam code, by the way. For a free to play mobile game.
$5.
On mobile.
I actually have another newsie that I forgot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for forgetting, everyone. Game Center CX Season 25 has begun. And a new development. The ban on Game Boy Advance software has been lifted as normal challenge software. This is Google translated from the Game Center CX official account. I assume that this means that RNO will now be able to play Game Boy Advance games for RNO's challenge. It is old enough.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It also says in this tweet that 20 years have passed since the release of the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. I'd say that would make them old enough, but maybe they just don't want to play it. Whatever. The people are really it's the sixth generation where people get really uppity about whether or not they're considered retro. I feel. Wait, so it's considered retro.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I've heard people give the argument that the Xbox 360 and PS3 are retro now. Like I said, I've heard the argument.
I think we talked about this before that we need like a new term to make like stuff like PS3 and Xbox 360 being called retro not feel weird. I think didn't Null float the IP of vintage? Yeah, exactly. It's
I've as far as So I just to make sure I'm understanding correctly, like, because I've heard the phrase vintage be thrown around for stuff like Coleco and Atari, ColecoVision and Atari and like Commodore
Team
stuff.
Fortress 2.
That stuff is I've heard the term vintage gaming thrown around for that, and then retro is like from the NES forward. No, I'm sorry, you're wrong.
Okay. Whatever we're talking about, I'm sorry. I actually have one more news. It's
Seriously?
Helltaker's first anniversary, and they released an update. That's all I want to say.
Tune into the stream last week.
Yeah, tune in. Check out the VOD for the Helltaker Revenge anniversary stream.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be lit.
You know what else?
I was probably gonna stream it on my channel. Actually,
You know what else happens in the past? A link to the past.
Gaming news.
Gaming
Capitals.
news. Yes.
I happen to. You know, it's funny. It's funny that Tabby mentions gaming news from the past, because it just so happens I have some gaming news from the past to share with you all, if you would have me.
Do tell.
Yeah. Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War. It's 25 years old today. Pretty cool, huh? Genealogy of the Holy War. I made a podcast about it a few months ago.
Damn, the Matt and Matt podcast.
Yeah, with Twitter sensation Matt Graphics,
Friend of the show.
friend of the show. Check it out if you've played the game. If not, play the game. That's it. Exactly. That's why. That's what reminded me about this.
And then you said, "Do I need this?"
I do need this. I think I've talked about. Half Xehanort.
A link to the past.
Here we go.
A link to the past.
Start the show.
A link to the past.
Give your all.
You know this game's a blast.
You won't fall.
A link to the past.
It's not time. It's not.
Well, I'm
Link to the past.
know this game's a blast. I'm going to embrace the tradition as our first discussion of something in regards to E3 happening. As a
That's
an
not very
announcement of a date.
halal, I don't think.
Well, what
Ramadan is over, by the way.
I
Free
was
Palestine.
yes. I was about to say, well, this is halal, but I can't actually use that word correctly because I don't fully know.
Null
the full
might be able
definitions
to in 3 weeks when he gets his 23andMe back.
Yeah, but in E3 1995, is that the first E3, right?
It might have been, yeah.
I think it's that's the first E3.
So what we're going to do, audience, is we're just going to talk about E3s whenever they show up during the week. Because E3s happen at different times every year. It's usually in early June, but a lot of the earlier ones were in May.
And then there's some even in like late June.
Yeah. So fucking deal with it. You're going to get a lot of E3 news.
It's the
As if
summer
E3
of E3.
isn't like the best part of
It's Gamer Christmas.
Gamer Christmas, exactly. Except instead of getting gifts, you get ads.
Yeah, but you get the really funny ads like the oh fuck, what company had the ad where they were like gamers?
Talk about the Ultra 64.
Okay, so this is where Nintendo revealed in the West at least the Ultra 64. And was also showing off things like Super Mario 64 with this. And, you know, this being probably the first, it is the first, like, major attempt at a 3D game, on consoles at least, was very, you know,
We've got, like,
3D platformer. Sorry, I forgot a word. It's late.
Sure, yeah, all right. I was gonna, wasn't Crash Bandicoot, like, no, it came out the same year as 64, didn't it?
Yes, I think so.
I get PlayStation PlayStation people have to deal with Jumping Flash until then. I hear it's a good game. Okay.
Dozens of people craving for Jumping Flash, but
it got an Astro, I think.
For some reason. But yeah, they were showing it off in its final stages of development. It didn't actually end up releasing until after the E3 next year. But I just thought that was neat, and we have some other news that happened at that event, and I felt left out. So,
I'm pissed. A media thing? Okay. Well, you know, do they still do like the closed doors thing? They do, right? They did that for Cyberpunk.
They do that for everything.
That's still a thing.
And I think press badges get like early access to the venues that are actually running like press conferences.
I think you get to skip lines too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's a good idea. Do you? Okay, I want to talk about. It was in the past. It was that was 30 seconds ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this one not E3 story that I just thought was funny that we could all fuck you. We're just gonna point and laugh at it for a second, all right?
I was trying to segue and you killed the go. Okay, just go.
I don't know what the fuck the segue was. We're talking about Nintendo. This is still a segue because it's Nintendo. It's from 2010. Look, this episode's scuffed, all right? It's gonna stay scuffed.
This is the best episode we've ever recorded.
No, episode 6 is the best one.
No. Why would I listen to my own podcast?
She needs to make the document every week, and she does it two days before.
3. I did it Monday.
How about you do it right after this podcast ends?
How about you... okay.
Suffer? Oh, yeah. No, I already do that.
Yeah. Choto.
Itadakimasu. Fucking Christ. Okay, speaking of Japanese company Nintendo, in May 7th, 2010, they had Miyamoto had an interview with Edge Online saying, to be honest, I think it's rather unfair whenever I hear such comments that Nintendo isn't proactive when it comes to its online strategy. It's basically this whole article talking about how like the Wii has all sorts of online features. It's always connected online via Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. You can play multiplayer games and you can use the Wii Speak microphone.
I'm pointing and laughing at the company. Yeah,
Everybody Votes channel. They just added the ability to stream movies from Netflix on the Wii, which actually was pretty fucking cool. But
it
has Opera. When I didn't have a computer for a few years, that's how we went online. Not much because the Opera browser was shit. We just watched YouTube mostly. Went on Game FAQs.
Look, the Wii having internet access resulted in the Wii Shop, which resulted in the Nirvana the Band the Show sketch, Wii Shop Wednesday. So I think it was all worth it in the end.
I mean, the Wii Shop was cool. It's also dead. But...
Super Mario RPG.
Both.
Zelda, Donkey Kong 3, Adventures of
Preach. Yeah, as we discussed multiple times on this podcast. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Point and laugh. He's wrong.
Haha. All right. So
Talk about the yeah.
that was the one
Let's
I
see
was
Paul
going to
Allen's
talk.
vagina bones.
So, May 13th, 2016, Twitter user Seban_E, in regards to the Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE re-release onto the Nintendo Switch, I think.
No,
No, sorry, no. This was the original Wii U release, and it was the North American, the localization. They, like, I don't know what it actually is, but they removed, like, the V part going to the pelvic V on the North American, and this Twitter user wonderfully phrased it as, at Censored Gaming, not only did they remove her cleavage, but they also removed her vagina bones.
You know,
And I just find this tweet very funny. Yes.
I gotta say, I gotta give this guy credit. He still uses this exact same account, and he's active. Also, his bio
Yes.
is a little what's the word? Like, it's a little moldy. It's like, I
Yes.
love it when people shit themselves over an old meme. It's hilarious. It's like, I'm sure he's gotten a lot of comments, so I can understand why he'd put that there. Much like this,
It's
Yeah.
very funny, and in hindsight, you have to laugh at yourself. For those of you interested who are over the age of 18.
not necessarily hentai. Just no, never mind.
Man, people who like, because
And Metal Slug.
I'll have like Twitter open while I'm working, and I'll just see people at like 8 a.m. just retweeting hardcore porn, and I'm just like, how?
8 a.m. Hey, that's 11 a.m. on the East Coast.
No, these are West Coast people. These are people who live within like a couple hours drive of me, and I'm just like,
Oh, they just haven't gone to bed yet.
and I'm just like, you are like, I understand like being like, yeah, I need to retweet that, but it's 7 a.m.
I don't understand that at all.
Look, some people are just like, yeah, this is so good, you got to share it with the masses. Entertainment, Electronics and Entertainment Expo.
Electronic. Yeah. I should probably do my E3 thing before you do yours, Null, because yours kind of leads into mine. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Sega Saturn, it's out there. In fact, it's in your local Babbage's and Toys R Us and other participating retail locations right now. Now, the Sega Saturn had a surprise launch on May 11th, 1995 in the States. The idea was for it to come out several months later on Saturn Day, but Sega of Japan pushed for the Western branch of the company to make it a like surprise launch to 5 months ahead of time in May. And the idea was that they reveal its price, $399, including Virtual Fighter and like a controller and shit. And off that buzz, they would just release the console and people could get it in stores now. Now, when you hear this, you may my first thought when I heard about this is like, oh, that's kind of a good idea. Like, to just kind of like instantly release. No, this was a stupid, fucking awful idea for many reasons. One, they only shipped 30,000 of these to specific retailers. So if you weren't one of those retailers to get a Sega Saturn on the surprise launch, you were shit out of luck. In fact, I believe KB Toys, some retailer that sold like games and stuff, literally boycotted Sega products because of this. for the remainder of their.
A lot of mom and pops also started to do that.
Yes, because like obviously mom and pop stores were not told of this surprise launch, and mostly only like big chains, like I said, Babbage's and Toys R Us got these ahead of time. And even still, like, this is the management or whatever, like Null, if he had worked for Walmart at the time or whatever, would not have known the Sega Saturn was coming out probably until this E3. So it's like, so this just like completely blindsides everyone, and not in a good way, because the Saturn had a pretty sizable launch title selection when October. There was like over 20 games that were supposed to come out. Because of the surprise launch, only 6 games, if I recall correctly, only 6 games were ready. Now granted, you got some fucking hitters in there like Panzer Dragoon, which is a fucking great game, but what, that's one game.
Virtua Fighter
2, yeah, but Virtua Fighter would get a re-release a little while later called Virtua Fighter Remix. That's like that. It was
the arcade update.
Yeah, the arcade. It was basically the more arcade accurate port that looked a lot better. That was actually what you could actually do is if you like mailed like a rebate or something from your Saturn, you could actually get Virtua Fighter Remix for free from Sega of America, which is pretty cool.
What a cool thing.
This was just one of those things that it's just another example of Sega of Japan at Sega of America's throats and vice versa, just like thinking and just doing terrible management ideas that just slowly sunk the company until they just couldn't make consoles anymore.
Sega of Japan really just killed their entire company.
It was,
for the
yeah.
console.
From what I understand, a lot of the bad decisions, especially later on in like this from the Saturn era, were mostly from Sega of Japan. Although was it Bernie Stoller, who I believe was the president of Sega of America during the Saturn's launch, Saturn's time. Bernie Sanders. He did not like. I believe it was. He was the reason for a lot of localizations not happening that probably should have. Like a lot of fighting games never got localized because of him. He was he would just be like, X-Men, Children of the Atom does not belong on the US Sega Saturn. You do not need to use a RAM cart for your Sega. That was the big reason why, is he didn't want the I believe I recall if I recall correctly, it's because of the RAM cart add-on. Okay. Everyone watch Pandemonium, reviews every US Sega Saturn game. He makes borderline documentaries about this shit. It's great. Hey, give him some time.
He's got a lot less games to work with, Null.
Yeah, it's true. He's only reviewing every US Saturn game. Saturn. Sega
shoot 'em.
It was the talk of the. Worth mentioning. Apparently, it was pretty popular. Like that day at E3, people were really hot on the Saturn. Until another thing happened. Fuck.
Jim Ryan.
No, it was not Jim fucking Ryan. Oh my god. It was like something Race, I believe was his name.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Steve Race.
Yes, I was right. It was something Race. Steve Race. He was the president of the Sony Computer Entertainment America at the time. Brisk walk. And the crowd went wild. This is legendary. This is like the E3 moment, and basically just sealed just sealed Sega's fate forever. Steve Race stepped on the podium and just said, "Die," and then Sega's like corpse, or Sega's body just like corpse that wants to turn to a skeleton, like in Dragon's Lair.
I have a. I have a very strong feeling. I don't know any of the history about this. I'd love to, if Steve Race is still around in any capacity in any company, I'd love to see if he has an answer to this. Like, did he get approval for that, or did he just go on stage knowing it would be a banger?
This was I know the story about this. There was originally a like full like breakdown prepared, but he realized that since the Saturn was priced at $399, he knew that he could get it just a fucking slam dunk if he just said the price and just walked off. So it was off the cuff.
That's really good.
And this is why it took so long.
Well, then the reverse. Well, that happened with Sony with the PS3, because they announced it was $600, and then
$599 US,
and then Microsoft announced that the Xbox 360 was like $300 or whatever.
Was it $300? No way. It did. It had a port for my floppy disk.
It had 4 HDMI ports. Thank you very much.
What a fucking weirdo. What a...
Yeah, Microsoft had a model that launched for $299.
Ken Kutaragi is a madman. That's all that really needs to be said. I can't find anything on Steve Race. All I get is a composer who died in 2009, which I thought it was him for a bit, and I was about to get a little sad.
Stephen Race is a portfolio manager now, I'm not going to pronounce the city name.
San Francisco?
No, it's Orinda. No, not Orida. Shout out to Orida. Good potatoes.
Orida makes pretty good fries.
You're welcome.
Fuck no. Yeah.
No. Okay. So, the last things is we have a couple of the Fighting Game Power Hour in the past. Weirdly, 2 anniversaries that are like within a couple days apart of each other. In 1999, on May 12th, Street Fighter III Third Strike released in the Japanese arcades. Street Fighter III Third Strike, I think, is the most popular legacy title in fighting games.
Third time's the charm, so they say.
You just like that Kashan's good in that game. So it is if you even if you don't play fighting games, you know Third Strike is like the shit.
When I was younger, everyone would always tell me that Street Fighter Third Strike was like the best fighting game ever made.
And people do still say that, and like I can see the reasons why. I just disagree. I think the game's very fun, but it has a ton of issues.
What about Super 2 Turbo?
You mean Super Turbo or Turbo? Because those are 2 different games. Super Turbo's fine. That game's just like really Kuso though, like more than. That game's fucking sick.
That's a game Capcom needs to make. They need to make another Puzzle Fighter.
Puzzle Fighter, yeah. No, a lot of people did. Chun-Li
See my Nash, bro.
3S is very good. If you go, hey, I want to play fighting games, try 3S because it's free on Fightcade. Very good.
Minecraft?
It's also the last fighting. I believe the last fighting game Capcom released until 2009.
That's in.
Yes.
What about Tatsunoko versus Capcom?
That came out after Street Fighter 4.
It did? Oh, it might have been 2010. You're right.
Tatsunoko versus Capcom is December 11th, 2008. But like,
Fuck yeah. 1997.
yeah, 96 actually.
I'm pretty sure there was a local arcade here once that had a Darkstalkers cabinet.
Oh hell yeah!
I only went there once. My brother was like, he really wanted to play Darkstalkers. And I was like, maybe this place has one. And there was another, we went to a Fun Spot, which is like the largest arcade in the world, apparently. So they say.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have Darkstalkers. They actually don't have like any fighting games besides like Mortal Kombat 3, which is kind of lame.
Everybody wants to play Mortal Kombat 3. That's why I like
well, this
my local.
It has like old arcade games.
My local barcade, Ground Control. Shoutouts to you guys, you're great. They're all the guy or a bunch of the guys who do the arcade machine maintenance there are all like local FGC members. So they have like, I think they have like 2 third strike cabinets. They have like a Marvel vs. 2 cabinet. They've got everything that you would be looking for that's like reasonably priced, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and then lastly, the other anniversary is Guilty Gear released 22 years ago on 17 minutes from now, the 14th. Guilty Gear being the
prettiest of the anime fighters.
It's the first.
The belle of the ball, if you will.
It is Guilty Gear 1, not great. I want to be real. Like, I think everyone can, it's first iterations of fighting games are always bad. That's just the truth. But
Super Smash Brothers?
First iterations of fighting games are always bad.
You're fucking insane. The original is good.
Comparatively? No. But Guilty Gear is probably my favorite fighting game franchise. I genuinely think the game is it's very Guilty Gear 1's not great, but the series as a whole was birthed with this Daisuke Yoshitari and his magnum opus of this franchise, and it's very good and very cool. And you should at least try Guilty Gear 1.
That man.
That's also not necessarily true. Like, he didn't create.
Who's Atari?
That is my current headcanon, is that Daisuke Yoshitari is in the canonical Guilty Gear lore as no, because that man is a cat boy. We know that.
Yeah, he has a name now.
Yeah.
What was Soul Bad Guy's name before he was Soul Bad Guy?
Oh,
isn't it like something like really simple, like James?
Let me look.
Just you.
Yes.
Oh, Jack and Rose. Yeah, I can. That makes sense. You know, what was it? Big Boss's name is Jack,
he is Frederick.
Frederick Douglass? Wow.
No, Frederick was the name.
Well, the boss always calls him Jack, and apparently Jack and John are interchangeable. I don't ask how. They just are. David. It is actually Dave. I don't know if I think that's just a coincidence. Me too. Yeah, he's a big fan of David Hayter. That's why he's in one of the Metal Gear Solid 4 commercials. No, David. Why are you here?
So, Soul Bad Guys...
advertises the movie.
Soul Bad Guy's legal name is Frederick Bulsara, who he was
That sounds like an
romantically
American
involved
name a
with,
Japanese guy would come up with.
Aria Hale, and he worked with that man.
The cooler Daniel.
And then in 2016, he was died and then resurrected into the gear, the Flame of Corruption, otherwise known as
watch the
Soul
lecture,
Bad
I
Guy.
guess.
But
To
then he
learn
joined
more
the
about
Sacred
Guilty Gear
Order
lore.
of the Holy Knights.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
I think that's all our news.
That's everything.
Well, I want to say about Guilty Gear, I find it amazing that Guilty Gear scene is like basically made by one guy, and it feels like it's made by one guy. It's amazing to me that it's so successful because it seems really weird.
Well, the game is fantastic.
Well, apparently the first one isn't good.
I mean, it was good at the time. Mm-hmm.
What does the original look like?
It looks.
It was a PS1 game, right?
Yeah, it's a PS1 game.
Yeah, I'm not expecting the fucking moon here.
It's like from the gameplay loop itself, it's something very different from like Street Fighter and King of Fighters, which were like the two most popular at the time.
This is humble ass beginnings right here. This does not look terrible, by the way. And I could see why people would like this, especially in like late '90s or whatever.
Yeah,
Third
imagine.
Strike hadn't come out yet, so Capcom was shitting and farting.
Imagine looking at like, there's like a Super Turbo cab or like a Children of the Atom cab we could play, and then you see that instead, and you're like,
It's like, who the fuck is this Kai Kisa guy?
and there's people jumping over the screen. The speakers are peaking with like explosions.
This audio is really bad.
Yes.
The fucking music is just like fucking farting everywhere.
Well, I was like to say the music for Gear, even since back then, slapped